All right, all right. Hey, hey. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, Aries. All right, so welcome back, Aries. Let's jump on into this one. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I've had power outages for many, many hours, 2 days in a row now, so I'm way behind on zodiacs. But thank you guys. We had special requests. I asked everybody what are the zodiacs you're most excited to see, and I thought I'd move them to the front of the line. And Aries came up pretty frequently, so here we go. Aries crew, thanks a lot for giving me the feedback. I appreciate it. All right, we have a Page of Cups. And by the way, the theme for this whole storytelling, because we've got all of this sunshiny backdrop. Can you tell I'm dreaming of when the snow melts? But I wanted to say, what's the thing coming to light? What's the thing being thawed out? So we actually have Page of Cups, and then we've got this Eight of Wands. I'm gonna say that the thing that someone is starting to recognize is I think somebody is reflecting on the fact that you know what, that Aries is pretty cool. That Aries is someone I really like to get to know. Now it could also be that that Aries is somebody I owe an apology to. It feels like someone has been trudging around taking long walks. Maybe they like nature, maybe they go outside quite a bit, and that's when they clear their head, and that's where they find the answers they're looking for, even though they didn't even know they were looking for answers. Eight of Wands is a character who's, they're moving around, they're doing stuff, they're traveling about and experiencing the world, and maybe even subconsciously. Yeah, Seven of Cups is in the reverse and the Judgment is here. Okay, it doesn't change anything about our story. They have a different way of processing, perhaps. This feels like a character who needs to get out there and do kinesthetic motion in order to clear any confusion. What they're aware of now is they feel like they owe Aries an apology. Maybe at one point in time they didn't see it that way. At this point they do. Scorpio energy, and we can even see, I mean, they're actually feeling pretty crappy right now. This is like I don't know if they're realizing that at one point in time Aries really poured their heart out to them and they sat there like a big old lump of, statuary. It feels like they're reflecting, saying, I can't believe I acted like that. I owe a huge apology for this. And I mean, I know that. Maybe Aries is saying, can you not give me a little attention? Can you not? Well, we have Queen of Swords. I don't think Aries was begging in any way, shape, or form. But if Aries came in as a Queen of Swords energy and said, so look, I don't see you giving me much attention, which means I got to stop this one way flow. This is somebody who puts up a boundary, not angrily. She carries a sword on her shoulders very casually. This is somebody who did not use harsh words. Our Aries didn't tell them to go to hell. Our Aries didn't yell at them. Our Aries simply probably laid out some boundaries. They might have been hurting when they said it, it's I realize you're not that into this, or you don't seem to be giving me a whole lot of feedback or a whole lot of time and attention. So maybe I should let this one go if you don't have time or you don't want to invest here, because you seem distracted. You seem like you turn a cold shoulder to me, and so I'll let you go because I don't want to keep offering a buffet that you're not coming to eat. It feels very much like it was said with truth, but not with venom. But it was, I got to put up a boundary. I can't keep giving to someone who seems to be a lump of stone. I can't do that. It's not good for me. It's not good for the situation. What's interesting here is if Aries also said, I, there's some kind of a bond here. Um, but as much as I can feel that there's a bond here, I still got to put up a boundary. So I'm going to stop talking. I think that this is the Ace of Pentacles. Our Aries changed completely because I think they said, unless you can change to match me, then it means I got to match you. And that means some silence. And I think that's probably the most poignant message so far. If you can't alter to match me, then it means I should alter to match you. As little energy as you're putting in, that's where I have to downgrade the amount of energy I put in. As little as you speak to me, I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and reflect you in that until the day there's going to be a change again that speeds things up. So the new version of Aries that Aries showed to them was, crickets. I'm going to be silent. I'm not going to speak anymore. And if this is where this thing ends, even though there was a bond, hey, I can't pour energy into someone and deplete my own self. If you're not giving me anything in return, then that's cue for me to pull back. Man, this Aries is like total boss energy. This Aries knows how to handle themselves. No anger, no frustration, even. And they're still able to say, there's a big bond here, but I know better than to chase. I know better than to do that. With this Seven of Pentacles, I feel like this has been them. I think they saw a new side of Aries, and Aries was very, very, very serious. They meant every word they said. Aries went silent on them, not as punishment, because Aries told them, I'm going to put in as little energy as what you are. I can only reflect back to you what you're reflecting to me. And it's not to be mean. It's just, I got to meet you where you're at. And where you're at right now is silence and solitude. So that's where I'll go ahead and match you. Aries went ahead and told them this wasn't a punishment thing. This wasn't a gameplay. This was literally Aries saying, what more could I do? I care about this person. I even think they care about me. But if they can be silent and care about me in the solitude, should I let that hurt me? Or should I just say, well, that's where they're at. I do care for them, but I got to also care about me. So silence it is. And I feel like for quite some time, this character, they might have been stunned. They might have been absolutely like, I can't believe that the Aries really, this is the new version of them. They're not warm, loving, adventurous, cheering me up, whatever. They're letting me be in this pulled back, kind of hiding in the shadows kind of energy. And I feel like they watched the Aries for quite a while. I think Aries knew that they still continued. This Aries never doubted that they care about them. Aries knew that this character cares about me. I know you do, but I also know you're not given anything. So that must mean that you can't give right now. So let me just let you have your space. And I think that this character hung out in the shadows and continued to like think about Aries, pay attention to Aries, maybe take those long, long, long walks. We keep seeing somebody that takes time with everything. For whatever reason, we see somebody also who's kind of, I would say, tangled up in their mind. This solitude that we see again and again. And even though the Seven of Cups is now in the reverse, that would have represented somebody whose mind is clouded. They don't know what to do. They're working through some other thought processes, and they kind of needed time to just process other aspects of their life. I don't know exactly what it was. They weren't telling Aries, and Aries didn't pry. Aries just said, what you can't give to me right now, I just got to let you be. But they continued to think about Aries, watch Aries from the shadow. I don't think this Aries was ever out of this character's heart, ever. What is it that they've been clouded by, or that they were so busy dealing with? We've got a Page of Wands, and they sit here on a swing. The swing shows kinetic potential, but unless you pump those legs and get things moving, ain't nothing happening. Page of Wands is like the very beginning of a new romance, of a new journey, but this is someone who wouldn't take the first step on this journey. I almost feel like now we're talking about a potential relationship that they never got their first date. This was two people that cared about each other, but this person wouldn't ask Aries out. They just wouldn't do it. And Aries maybe finally said, hey, you know what? It's okay. We can just be friends that don't talk. I care about you. I think you care about me, but I'm not about to chase you around like a little yapping terrier, So just so you know, there's nothing here. I'll just let you be. I feel like it's something along those lines where this character, they wouldn't take the first step. Why not? We got a 9 of Wands. They did not think that they were ready. They were clearing, look at this. This person's got the scythe, and they were still clearing out old debris. They were not in a place, even if they cared, well, they do care about this Aries. This is a person who said, I cannot ask out this Aries. I can't do it. Not when I still have all this housekeeping to do. Whatever their housekeeping was, whatever they had to clear out. This could have been like their own emotional stuff. This could have been, we've got an 8 of Swords. They were very stuck. We got a 6 of Pentacles, and we got the Chariot. they were stuck but needed to move on, and it was time for them to move on. So Aries either met them at a time where they were in that transition phase, you know, like maybe this character was in the midst of letting go of one whole era of their life, the hurts, the pains, the things that go along with it. They were in the transformation. Like think of someone who's about to, we'll say, get on an escalator, and maybe they're nervous about riding escalators. I could be that way sometimes. I get vertigo really bad, and if it's really high and like glass sides, I can be like, okay, okay, we're gonna do this, and I just have to like force myself to take the step. But sometimes it can be like a little bit of a pause, and so I'm using it as an analogy because I could picture that in my mind instantly, where we talk about somebody who needs to transition, but they're at that moment where it's like, I know it's time to get on the escalator, I know it's time to ride it to get to the next floor, but I'm at that moment where I still feel a little bit like, ooh, vertigo is kicking in, and can I do this? Okay, one step, two step, one step, three, go, and it just feels like they knew it was time to move forward in their life. Maybe they needed to break away from, maybe they needed to move out of their family's house. Maybe they were, cohabitating with other family members. Maybe they needed to move and get a little bit more freedom away from, you know, well-meaning family members that tend to want to rule their life a little bit. Maybe they needed to break away just a little bit and they hadn't done it yet. So it's this, oh man, I got to do this. But now I meet this amazing Aries, but I know darn well I don't want to date Aries when maybe I am still, sharing a room with my adult sibling because, I was helping out family member pay their rent, or I was down on my luck for a while. I was regrouping, recuperating finances, like there are situations where it's like, I am sorry, but there is no way I'm dating somebody when my life is disorganized still. And I'm about at that place where I'm ready to move out, get my own place again. I've, recaptured my life, but I don't want to date someone when I don't feel like I've reestablished myself in this new life yet either. So I think that's about when they met this Aries. The timing was not perfect, even though on one hand it was. And the reason I say it was perfect is because this Aries had a chance to really show their self-respect, where they didn't doubt that this person was interested in them and vice versa, but they also didn't make it this big thing where it's like, if you can't even ask me out, then you're trash, blah, 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 blah. Like this Aries was super powerful in their own right, didn't let anything diminish them, the actions of another or the lack of actions of another who they know cares about them and vice versa. They didn't let it become like a reflection on their value, because this Aries really values themselves, but they also value that other person enough to say, you do what you need to. There's no big rush. It's, if the timing is ever right, I'm sure you'll make a move. Until then, I'm just going to back off on, thinking about pursuing something or whatever this is or isn't. It hasn't happened yet anyway, but I'm not going to put more energy in and put the pedal down to the metal to push something forward when clearly this person is not ready to reciprocate or make any move at all. And I think, what is the action? I mean, what is the vibe that this character has toward the Aries at this point? We've seen that they are very clear that they want to apologize for that first off. But in regards to the way Aries handled this, the world, oh my God. I feel like this character I think Aries is about to see a whole new version of this character, number one. I think that they have a huge amount of like, oh my God, this Aries is like no one else in the world. First off, I've never met anybody that operates this way. They gave me space to allow me to transform. They didn't force me onto their agenda in their timeline. They also went ahead and kept transforming and doing what they needed to for their own life, but they actually cared enough to give me the space to transform. I mean, this is an amazing gift to be given, not being told, this is what you need to do, or you can't do it on time. And so blah, blah, blah. I just love the fact that I think that the appreciation that they have for this Aries, the fact that Aries is unlike anyone else they've ever met, possibly unlike most people in the world, because most of us want things on our schedule, right? But this, no wonder they're finally at that place where they're like, okay, I'm ready to talk to the Aries. And yeah, I do want to apologize. I want to apologize because I wasn't ready and I did care, but I was still being silent. And it's like, Aries, you didn't get it wrong at all. I do care. I just I had to get some stuff worked out first. And the fact that you somehow knew that and understood that is kind of amazing. We've got the Action of Cups in the reverse. This is very much a big conversation about why there was no pursuit of this relationship. I mean, and there was no pursuit here. We got the Three of Wands upright. We got the Six of Pentacles upright. We got the Four of Wands upright. This is like, at last, could we start building something? Could we start thinking about a future? Could we start giving, sharing, and could this possibly turn into the Four of Wands? This was kind of, I'll say, one of the most incredible opportunities for Aries to display how much self-worth they have, because it didn't become about them. It didn't become like, oh my gosh, why isn't this person giving me anything? Why does this person not care enough to pursue me? Why would they let me go if I can tell that they care, but they just won't take action? This Aries was like, well, obviously it's because they've got something else going on. And who am I to say that they need to be ready? I care about somebody, then I also care about them doing what they need to for themselves. If it comes around and we can make this happen and then become a couple, awesome. But I lay no claim to this person anyway, other than I personally know that things will work out the way they need to, because I know it's not about me anyway. That's an amazing story for this one. Well done, Aries. All right, you guys, as always, I'm a fictional storyteller. I am not a psychic. Please bear that in mind. If you're new here, welcome. My storytelling is very different. And hopefully everyone always walks away feeling more empowered and uplifted, being reminded that this will not be your personal life story, because we get to watch these fictional characters play things out. It doesn't matter what they do or don't do. We get to make different choices in our own life. And so I hope that that is always the big takeaway. But it's also really cool to watch how, like, what's motivating the different characters. So I hope that you watch it as the entertainment that it is, but maybe it'll generate some cool food for thought, or, drop a comment. Let me know how you would have done things different, or what you think these characters should have done. I just read the story that comes out, good, bad, or ugly. But I did enjoy this one a lot. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Bye.